Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Megumi. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So you just answered the independent writing practice test number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and make some editing corrections and some suggestions on the organization of your essay. Also give you an idea of how you would score and why on this independent writing practice test. And first of all, I'm glad to have you as a student, and I appreciate your hard work, and keep it up. So many students have to live with roommates while going to school or university. I'm going to probably say something like this. How about this? Unlike a living style, they might share with their family. I'm going to get rid of all of this. I don't think I really need that, and let's give you a little bit more advanced. So unlike a living style they might share with their family, then you might say living with a roommate is the beginning of a social life. So something like that. Okay, let's keep going. So, unlike a living style they might share with their family, living with a roommate is the beginning of a social life. Then put, when thinking, I'm going to put here about roommates. I recall my good roommate whom I lived with last year. I'm old and she was young, but I'm thankful I could live. I'm going to get rid of that and just say comfortably with her. Then say thinking about her, I point out the important qualities of a good roommate: independence, cooperation, and respect. All right. I'm going to do something like this. The first, you need a topic sentence here. So the first important quality of a good roommate independence. That you need a topic sentence. The topic sentence goes back to your thesis. So remember, you're making an argument here. You said I'm thankful I could live independent life with her, but that's more making a statement. You want to have a topic sentence that makes more of an assertion or claim, and then you can defend the claim. Then you say I'm thankful I could live maybe an independent life with her. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this here. I'm thankful I could live an independent life with her because we both had different classes and study routines. I would say something like that. I'm thankful I could live an independent life with her because we both had our different classes and study routines. You've basically already said this idea here, so you're kind of being repetitive. You need to give some example to help support this idea. Then you say that we could achieve our individual life was a great success for us. We were friendly, but we were not too close and not too dependent on each other, maybe. Something like that. So the only thing missing here is, if you want to make this just a little bit better, is I think probably once you say, I'm thankful I could live an independent life with her because we both had our different classes and study routines. Then you say, for example, I was majoring in pharmaceutical or pharmacy, and I took most of my classes in the evening, whereas my roommate was majoring in literature or English, and she was taking most of her classes in the morning. So even though we had different study routines and schedules, we were still good roommates. Then if you stick with what you did before, the second, how about this? Important is cooperation. You see the connection here? Again, you want to make sure the topic sentence is making an assertion or a claim about the topic, and then you could defend that in those body paragraphs. So you say the first important quality of a good roommate is independence. The second important characteristic of a good roommate is cooperation. I'm thankful I could live with my roommate efficiently with good cooperation. For example, we could discuss what kind of food to buy and share for dinner. I'm going to say who, make past tense, would clean the room, would clean the dining room today and tomorrow to live how about a comfortable and clean environment. So let's go back and see what we did. Why do you think I put this word here? So you say, also we cooperated by discussing who would clean the dining room today and tomorrow to live, how about a comfortable and clean environment. To share the food was one of the great memories with her. Also, you're getting to the end of the paragraph, so I might say something like, finally, on the weekend, we cooked how about this? How about this? We took turns by cooking our favorite dishes from our respective countries. and say something like this, which in addition to cooperation helped us to develop a form like that. Now think about this for a minute. Now this idea here, it says, finally on the weekend we took turns by cooking our favorite dishes from our respective countries, which helped us to develop admiration. I use this word admiration at the very end because that helps lead to your final idea, which is respect, right? So I did that on purpose. Make sure it's still recording. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's go to the next paragraph. So you say, third, it was great we could respect each other in our lives because my roommate had a good personality. Again, you're making a statement. You're not making any type of an assertion. You can probably just say respect. Again, this is important here. Now, this time I use the word critical, which means important. I use attribute, which means characteristic, and characteristic means quality. So basically, I'm trying to restate the important parts of the writing task, but also demonstrate that I have a pretty good knowledge of synonyms and antonyms. Okay, then you get into your next idea. It was great we could respect each other in our life because my roommate had a good personality. She was bright and kind. She was also smart. I could learn from her, and she always opened her mind to me. We were always humble. We communicated a lot about each culture, study, and friends, maybe. How about our cultures? Studies and friends. The interaction developed. We developed, maybe. Helped us much. I'm thankful for the interaction. Now, it's this paragraph that really throws you off the cliff. This is what's killing you right now. Is if I look at this idea, what you've said here about respect, I don't think that this paragraph really helps defend that idea. You talk about too many different things. You talk about good personalities. You talk about being open, being humble, having interaction. You mention a lot of things, but to me, I don't feel like it really defends this idea of respect. So you have to kind of think about what that means. Okay, so let me go to Google for just a minute. So let's say, what does respect mean? So we'll click on a definition. Let's see what it says. So it says esteem, admiration, proper acceptance or courtesy, the condition of being esteemed or honored, to hold in esteem or honor, to refrain from intruding upon or interfering with. So that probably will help you a little bit. So if we go back to the actual paragraph that you wrote, if you give an example, say for example, sometimes at night when my roommate wanted to listen to music and she knew that I wanted to study, instead of listening to her speakers on her computer, she would listen to them on her headphones. That way she wouldn't intrude or make it difficult for me to study. So I appreciate that she had the respect enough not to be too noisy while I was trying to study. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you have to do, is you have to look at that key point, respect, and then find an extended example about your relationship with your roommate that would help defend that idea. Let's go to your last paragraph. Now I'm going to say here, to sum up. I already said finally, right? So or in conclusion, to sum up, I am convinced that our independent life, cooperation, and respect led to our success as roommates. We could achieve each purpose. We were satisfied we could live to enhance our life in a university. With good achievement, we finished the year. I remember that my roommate was good because I could live my independent life with good cooperation and respect. Probably a little bit too repetitive in that last paragraph. You already mentioned independent cooperation and respect at the beginning of the paragraph, and then you mention it again at the end. So, and you have some little with good achievement. You might say something like this. Scoring high marks in our respective classes, we finished the year. Give you a little bit of sentence variety there, and it says more of what you're trying to say. Okay, so that was just what I took what you wrote and I made some changes and made it a little bit better than what it was. Now the question now is what's your score? So let's take a look at each of the areas. Now let's make sure I'm still recording this video. Okay, good, perfect. Alright, let's go back here. So are you going to get a 5? No, forget it. Can you score 4.0 to 4.75? I don't think so. In the 2 range, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you. I think the 3.0 or 20 points out of 30 describes your writing at this point. Number 1, it says has accurate but limited range of sentence structures and vocabulary. Yes. But you are trying to use more advanced grammar in there, but you are still limited in the sentence structures you're using. Has some problems with sentence formation and word choice that makes your meaning and ideas unclear. Yes, and you saw some of those changes that I made. Here, has unity, progression, and coherence. However, sometimes it's difficult to understand the connection of your ideas, and the answer, unfortunately, is yes, because of your it looks like your 4th paragraph where you talk about a roommate and having respect. So that you didn't really develop, I think, or illustrate that idea in the examples that you gave in the essay. Okay, so let's go back to the rubrics. Addresses a topic and task using somewhat developed explanation, examples, and details. Yes. So that's why I gave you the score you did. What I would do is, I can't remember exactly the lesson numbers, but when you go back to my writing section, and maybe here, let me take a look at it really fast here. Hold on a minute. I would recommend that you take a look at, I'm going to say, what could help you a little bit. You definitely know how to write your thesis, so you don't need to worry about that too much. I would say writing lesson number 5.1, writing effective topic sentences. I think you need to improve that a little bit. Lesson 5.3, writing details to support generalizations. I think that would be good. And one more that might be useful for you is lesson 8, how to make your writing more coherent, especially that fourth paragraph. That really I would have probably given you a little bit of a higher score if it wasn't for that third paragraph. Alrighty, anyway, thank you for doing the practice test. I hope I've given you some good ideas on how you wrote it and how you can make it better so it could score higher.